We're on Sunny Isle and we're going to start building in the new Economy 2 update. This map is the Samui Island by Palm's Time. It's absolutely stunning. We've got this incredible topography to build on with all these low-lying areas in between. This is a modified version. So the original map comes with a highway ring road that goes around the entire map. However, I wanted to start on something a little bit more rural. So I jumped into the map editor and I replaced most of the highway with this rural highway. So most of it is only 2 lanes. So 1 lane going in either direction. So if there's going to be a car accident, we might see some pretty bad tailbacks. However, there's a whole network of roads going through this island, so I imagine the Sims will be able to find an alternative path if they need to. We've got these lovely little roundabouts all over the place. The only entrance to the map is over here. In the original map there's a road tunnel coming in here, but I've opted to go for something a little bit more quaint and just have a nice coastal road going into our neighboring territory. Now you can see here it is an island. The entire thing is surrounded by water, which is pretty cool. Another element that I added that didn't come with the map is this rail connection. So this is just a single line going through this hillside here, and it leaves the starting area and comes out to this coastal space here. This doesn't actually connect up to the neighboring city, but we can always buy these tiles in the future and connect it up if we want to. I'm thinking this might be a really cool area for some cargo ships, and we could ship in some goods into the city over here. And a couple of other details I added. This little castle ruin here and a few other around the island, just to give it some sort of history that we can tie into the storyline of the city. I'm not entirely sure what that is yet, but I like to have these around the map just to kind of give us something to build towards and maybe create a feature. Another element that I changed, which isn't visible, is the longitude and latitude location. So where this map actually sits in the world. The original map was designed based off an island off the coast of Thailand. However, I wanted this to be based in the Caribbean, and I think that will be a really interesting part of the storyline of the city. This could be an ex-colony island, either British or French, or maybe it at one time was owned by both. However, I don't want to delve too deep into the lore of the city. I just want to play the game as it is, so I won't be using that many mods. I have a couple of visual mods, and if we want to add anything else in the future, I'm not going to deny myself the opportunity to add something. Perhaps we do want to detail some sort of beach. However, I am holding out that Colossal Order will bring in some sort of beach texture in the near future. They often talk about some features that are missing that they just didn't have time to add, but I imagine that they're in the pipeline. The next DLC, which isn't going to be out until next year unfortunately, is bridges and promenades. So that just tells me that they are focusing on the coastline, and I feel like this is the perfect map to be able to build up a larger city and get ready for that update. So let's get started and lay some roads and get some people moved in here. Oh, this is just absolutely stunning. So we're probably just going to start with the wind turbine. The upkeep is 7,500 per month, whereas the small coal power plant is around about 5,000 to 45,000. The upkeep does not reflect the staff costs, so this can end up being around about $90,000 per month. So we're just going to stick with the wind turbine, and if we need to add another 1 or 2 during the episode, that'd be fine. So if we have a look at the area we're in, the wind speed is quite low pretty much everywhere. We're looking for somewhere to get 5 megawatts. We're getting more and more on this hill. Okay, so this looks like the spot to me, and we have this road here that has a power line that runs through it, so we can take advantage of that, even though it doesn't cover our starting tile. So let's just pop this on the hill. 5, let's find a spot where it's 5. There we go. And then let's grab the power line. And I think you can just stick this through the side, right? Yeah. There we go. Next up, we want to make sure we have some water. So the water pumping station is 5,000 per month, 10,000, 15. It looks like you've got the largest output as well. So I'm just going to use the water pumping station. The water on this map is a little bit funny. So everything is pushing towards the land. And since we're going to have to use the sewage outlet, there's not really a good spot to pulling drinking water. Not that you would want to be drinking seawater anyway, but this is City Skylines and they can drink seawater. They'll be fine. But I'm worried that the pollution might end up getting into the drinking supply. So I did notice we've got this river that comes up here and we've got this nice little pond. So let's use that. And again, we've got this road that we can take advantage of, which is carrying some of the water and sewage. So let's stick that on there. And it's got road access. That looks quite nice. Very scenic. Beautiful. Okay, and as mentioned, let's grab our sewage pipe and dump some water, dump some dirty water into the sea. I'm just going to stick it on the end here. There we go. And then we'll connect that up to the power once we've got some roads down. And I'm going to use the gravel road, I think. No, the alley. So the alley and the gravel road have the same upkeep, 375. Interestingly, the pedestrian street only has 250. You could just lay down pedestrian streets everywhere and it'd be half the price. But then the cars would be slower and it would end up causing lots of issues. So let's go for the alley. I'm going to grab the grid tool and just lay down some basic grid layouts. I'm not going to be too precious about this, but I do want the longer streets to face the ocean. I did look at some maps of coastal cities and most of them had streets heading towards, their longer streets heading towards the coast. And when I looked into it, apparently it's from when a lot of these places were first established. They would have lots of traders moving cargo between the water and further into the town. And they'd want lots of access points. So you can imagine there'd be lots of merchants and warehouses along each one of these streets. They don't want a long way to be walking around. So this is a more realistic layout that you'd expect to see on the coast. I also read that it would promote better airflow for cold air, especially in the summer. And as you can imagine, this is a hot climate and it can get quite hot. Just going to hook onto the corner there. This road in the middle will probably become one of the main streets in the city. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that to a wider street. And the same for these as well. And then we just need to join them up in the middle. Between this section we can add a bridge. Let's make sure that we go high enough. I think I'd want a road heading away from town, going up in that direction. Okay, I think this is a good opportunity to break out our complex curve tool skills. Let's come out. So this is around about 63 meters. So let's come out about 24 will be fine. 21 meters up towards that road, and then we curve that in And we'll just see what that looks like. That is interesting. I'm not sure about it, but we will roll with it for now. We might want to change that in the future. This bridge came out really nicely with these retaining walls on either side. Since this is the central point in our community, this could be the main access to get over the bridge without having to drive through town. So let's see if we can hook this road up nicely. What we could do is put a roundabout there instead. Yeah, let's do that. And then we could have a road going off at another angle heading towards a different part of town. And we'll stick a little roundabout there. Let's delete this one. Be a nice clean grid in that corner, yeah. So we could probably put in a mixed use development here, and then the footprint can cover this corner. There we go, that's looking super cozy. I think we could add a little slip road here as well. Most of the traffic will be heading to the right side of the screen out of town, so we can just use one of these little alley roads and just have like a little turn off there. And we just need to connect this grid down here. Do we want to extend this grid layout just a little bit more? Go out by 1 block maybe. Let's pull this street all the way down to the end of the coast. There we go. And look at this, we've got this strange little jolt, the jog in the road, which I don't hate. We'll just keep that. It's a nice little feature. I'm just going to create a few stub roads just so that we know where we're going next. Alright, it's looking really good. I think I just need to make a couple more connections on these broken gridded areas, and then we can start putting in some commercial, residential, industry. We'll have to see where this all goes. Okay, the grid is in. Let me know what you think about this. I think it'll be interesting. I can see there's going to be some issues on this main road going through the community. We might need to add a relief road, especially up here, to connect this part of the neighborhood to the outside connection. Alternatively, we can bring in this path along this side of the river instead. But overall, I'm really excited. I'm using grid roads because I know this is going to be quite a dense area, and then we can introduce a more organic system as we move further out. However, I think this will set us up really well. Let's just grab our marquee tool, cover the entire thing. We need as much housing as possible so that we can get as much tax. The only places that I probably don't want any development is along this front here. We can have a few on these sides, and let's just get rid of that as well because I imagine it might be quite hilly. And here's probably going to be a little bit problematic. Let's try preserve some of the beach area. And along here, let's keep this reasonably clear as well. We could have a couple of houses on the end here overlooking the sewage pump. Why not? I'm just going to throw a couple of houses in there as well. And let's have a look around the bridge. Yeah, we don't want any development directly onto the bridge. It's quite hilly as we've raised the road up from the ground. And then again on this river, let's avoid having the buildings go into the river. And let's keep some of the right of way free because we might want to build a road through here along the river. But everything else is looking good. And the benefit of putting these little stub roads in is we don't have to demolish any houses when we want to expand further. Okay, so I've zoned the entire area using the low density residential. And now I'd like to put in the commercial zone. I imagine the central street is probably the best bet to place this. It's going to be the most popular area for people to gather. And I imagine there'll be really good business along here. I'm just going to paint over the top of this residential. So I'm just going to paint a few in here, keep it quite dense around this bridge area. I imagine this is quite a popular area for businesses to set up, since there's lots of people passing through. And maybe a few here on the way out of town. Yeah, quite like that. We can always come back over and add some more later, but I think that'll do for now. Maybe just a couple of smaller ones further in, just so that these people haven't got to walk as far if they just need to pick up some essential goods. Yeah, we're going to need somewhere for people to work, so our industrial zone. All our wind is heading to the other end of the island, and there's a few places we could put industry. I think a good spot would be on this end here, on the edge of town, so that we're not affecting anyone. But I did notice that this spot here on the peninsula would be a good spot because, again, most of the wind is just heading out to sea. So I'm going to pop in some of the industry here. Not entirely sure how much we'll need yet. We can always come back in and replace this. I'm just going to break it up a little bit by adding a little bit of space between the buildings, just so that we might get some trees coming through. Let's just do all of this, and then let's come through here. And a little bit on this side as well. Right next to polluting industry. They can withstand a little bit, but not too much. But I think that's big enough for the area. Let's have a look over here. Let's just dezone this and designate this as an industrial area, and let's just remove that side as well. And I'm just going to paint these in. What I like to do is I like to leave a little bit of space, a little bit of variety in the lot size, and then you can get a little bit of, you can get more vegetation in between the buildings and make it look more attractive and blend more into the environment surrounding it. Some areas are a little bit more dense than others. Maybe we have an empty lot there. And we don't really need to worry about these being close to the residential here, since most of the pollution is heading out of town. So we're just going to put a few factory buildings in here, and then on these corners here we're just going to put some shops. I think that'll be nice. Okay, so we've got our zoning in. Let's just have a quick recap. So we've got an industrial hub on this end here, so I imagine there'll be quite a bit of traffic coming in and using these local streets. So let's put in a road up here in a sec, so that we can have the industrial traffic bypass the town. I like that idea. And then we've got a little bit of an industrial hub on this end of town, which will probably cause some traffic, but I can't see there being any way to create a bypass. But it's quite small, and I imagine it's not going to cause too much havoc. Oh, and before I forget, let's connect our sewage pump up. Now I think we just need the sewage pipe for this. Let's use the curvy road because I really like using the curves. And I don't think that needs any electricity. Let's just connect that road in, and then we can watch as the town starts to make shape. And since this is going to be connecting into this highway road here, let's use the street. Where would be the best place to put the street? So I imagine this is a good angle here. Let's put the street in here. This has the most... This seems to be the most logical to me because you come in along this road here and then you're at a fork in the road, so you can either head directly downtown or you can make a left turn and head out of town. Let's make that a 90-degree turn. Lovely stuff. And do we want to add a roundabout? Yeah, why not? Did we add one up here? No, because we've got this nice smooth road coming into the area. I forgot to add the water pipes. No wonder we weren't seeing any development. Let's connect that up. You can tell I've not started a new city in a long time, so please forgive me. Let's bring that up here. Okay, let's unpause it. You've got your water now. Let's hope they're happy. Have we got enough water? Yeah, we got plenty of water. And how about electricity? We might need to add another turbine soon, but it's coming alive. Let's have a look at the main high street. We've got people driving in. Very exciting. Oh yeah, we've got these new assets as well. Well, they're not new. They're from the beachfront properties DLC, but I've not played with them before, so they're new to me. That's quite nice. Looks like a level 5 building to me already. Very posh. Oh yeah, we got a classic fatty bite right round the corner. Get a nice juicy burger. It's got 2 shops. I didn't realise you could do that. You got almost meat as well. So if you got somewhere for the carnivores, somewhere for the vegetarians. That's quite a nice little setup there. Let's have a look at our other industrial hub down here. It's interesting, you got a lot of these houses. And look, we've reached milestone 1. So let's have a look what we've got for that then. Oh, we've got the new signature building already. The Extreme Athletes Villa. A villa fit for extreme athletes. How exciting. I've never unlocked that, so I'm looking forward to putting that down somewhere. So we got a new loan. We've unlocked map tiles. Budget, that's what we need to look at. Service budget especially. Medium row housing. Oh, farming. Yeah, we should put some farms in. That's a good idea. Loads of things. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's have a look at the budget. What have we got access to? Roads. Let's just turn that down. Electricity. Let's just keep that for now because I think we're probably using quite a lot. The water we can definitely bring down because I know that the water pump produces way more water than what you need at the beginning. Healthcare. Down. Garbage. Down. Taxes, I'm not really sure how these are working in the new version of the game, so I'm just going to leave them as they are. Loans, we don't need that yet. And let's have a look at our budget. So it looks like we're already in the green, which is great, but half the city hasn't been constructed yet. And everything's looking healthy, so the service upkeep, this is for service buildings, which we don't really have a lot of, except for power and water. And taxis are already covering twice as much of that at the moment, so that's a pretty good start if I can say so myself. And these beach properties are looking pretty fine if I can say so myself. They really suit this tropical hot climate. Very nice. Looks like people just really want to live at this end of town and this end of town. I'm guessing they just want to live near where the jobs are. I've never really noticed that mechanic before, so that's interesting. Nobody really wants to live in the middle of town where we've put all these shops. We should put some shops down here where people might actually use them. But we don't have any demand. We've only got demand for medium density. Maybe we should put some medium density in. Let's put some medium density along this middle portion here. And let's have a look where we've got some space on this side. Let's give them everything they want. We need more power. Let's have a look. So power availability has dropped above 5, so let's stick in another windmill, see if we can get another 5 megawatts somewhere around here. There we go. And connect that up. Okay, so it looks like the city has recovered from the blackout. They're asking for ambulances. Can we import city services yet? No, not yet. We need to get to Grand Village, milestone 4. So do we put in a medical center now, or do we allow these people to expire? So this is 10,000 a month minimum, up to 120,000. What's our budget? So we've got a monthly surplus of around about 100,000. I think we could put this in and just turn the budget all the way down. Where would be a good spot? Somewhere central with not too much development. Here could be a nice place. Somewhere where the ambulances can get out if they need to. Maybe put it along the riverfront, that'd be quite nice. Let's put it just beside this shop here. And let's just see how much this is costing us. So the wages is where it kills you. We've unlocked milestone 2, small village. So let's have a look to see what we've got with this one. Always pushing those loans. I feel like Colossal Order are secretly loan sharks. Medium density, and now we've got textiles, education, and we got schools. Okay. Let's have a look at the demand meter. So it looks like people want jobs. Let's have a look at the natural resources and maybe put some farms in. And since we've got this road up here, let's take advantage of this. There we go, we got our first farm in. Let's call this Flower Farm Road. And it looks like they're already starting to hire some staff. We've got 25 out of 32 spaces fulfilled. But it looks like we still have demand for industry, and that's probably just for regular zoned industry. So let's see if we've got some space down here. We've got a little bit of space. Let's just fill in these gaps. And we had this space here. Let's just fill that up as well. And there's a couple of gaps here that we just take advantage of. Lovely. There you go. You can see that it's going up, it's going down. I don't think there's any space to put more industry down here unless we start expanding. And I'm not sure how hilly it is. Yeah, we're pretty much on the precipice of this hill. I don't want to go too far up it and making it look unsightly. A few of these commercial spots that never developed we can fill in. I wonder if we could put another farm in here. There's like a little field. Do we have any natural resources here? We do. Okay, let's grab another farm field. That's not got a road there. There we go, that's quite nice, using some of the natural features that come with the map. Let's double check to see if we're producing enough electricity. Looks like we're about to drop into the orange again. Water's fine. Everything else I think is fine. The deaths, we've got 16 deaths so far. Not too bad. And we've still got lots of space to develop. It looks like unemployment is 0.7%, so we don't really need to worry about adding too many jobs yet. I mean, we've got demand for industrial, but are they actually filling up the job positions? Yeah, so they've all got all the employees that they need. And if we have a look at this, so we're missing quite a lot of uneducated workers, but all the other levels except for highly educated are pretty full. I wonder if it's the farms that are lacking workers. I imagine so. So they've only got 12 out of 17, 19 out of 32. So let's avoid putting any more farms down for now. We've got no power again, so let's pause the game and let's find space for another windmill. Lovely. It's so picturesque up here. Nice little lookout point. See the city in the distance. The map creator did such an incredible job. Okay, so we're still getting a whole bunch of dead people piling up, but that's fine. I don't want to screw up the budget by paying for something that we can't afford. We are doing really well with our monthly budget though, so that's a positive. And it looks like demand for medium housing is coming back, since this seems to be the most popular area for people to live. I imagine having a bit more density along here would be appreciated by all parties involved, businesses and residents. I think I might add a school. Schools are really important in the game. You got to get ahead of the education funnel before it gets ahead of you. So where would be a good spot? We've got quite a lot of medium residential down here. We've got quite a large space here with not much development. Let's upgrade that to a street. Delete this road. Let's put the school in the middle. I like that this road can focus on the school. That's quite nice. Since we don't have that much development on this road as well, let's upgrade that to a street. And then we've got this nice vista all the way down to the water. And I might just remove some of these trees as well. View of the school, and then if you're on the other side, you get a nice view of the ocean as well. Let's make a feature of this area and add a little footpath down to the water. There we go, that's quite nice. Okay, I think that's a pretty good start to our city, and I'm excited to be starting something new. This is a fantastic map. I really appreciate Palm's time for putting together such an amazing place to build on. And it looks like we are surviving. We've got dead bodies piling up. Do we build a crematorium? Maybe. Find out next time, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.